Hello Kainatis, this is your host Rashmi Sheoran and you're watching Kainaati Khabrein. The first news is about the Mars 2020 rover, which landed on Mars back in February of 2021. So since then, it has traveled 30 kilometers in this crater called Jezero Crater. It has collected many samples, 24 samples of the soil there, so that if we send missions, future missions from Earth to Mars, we can collect these samples, bring them back on Earth, and we are able to answer the very big question: did life ever exist on Mars? If yes, how did it look like? What was it made of? And this site, this location where the rover had landed is also very special. It's not any random place on Mars. Jezero Crater is believed to have liquid water flowing in the past. There's evidence of that. And astrobiologists think that if we are going to find evidence of ancient life on Mars, this is one of those best places. Now, last year in December, the rover actually came out of this crater after traveling and staying there and doing all this research. It has climbed out of the crater and it has sent a panoramic image showing its lab, its research laboratory, all the data that it had collected. And it is so wonderful to look at these images which are being sent from a distant planet, and humans can only dream of going there, can only dream of knowing what is Mars like. And we have these rover, these automatic machines that can do the work that humans are not yet capable of going and doing. So it is so wonderful to see these images, that something that just used to be a small red dot in the sky for our ancestors is something of a research topic, or something that you can take these pictures and put them on a wallpaper. It is so exciting, and let's see which are the future missions that will eventually bring these samples back on Earth so that we can answer the big questions. Next up, we have two private space companies that are heading towards the moon, iSpace and Firefly Aerospace. So iSpace launched its spacecraft on January 15th and is going to reach the surface of the moon sometime around May or June. Firefly launched its spacecraft also on January 15th and it's going to reach the surface of the moon sometime earlier, sometime in March. Now, both of these missions are going to be dedicated to human exploration on the moon, so that when the Artemis generation of astronauts goes to the moon, we have a much better understanding. How are they going to do it? So, iSpace has a lander called Resilience and a rover known as Tenacious. Beautiful names, and they're going to be, doing all this exploration. One very crucial thing for these missions to be successful before they start doing their experiments is going to be achieving a soft landing on the surface of the moon, because oftentimes in past missions we have seen that these missions that are going towards the surface of the moon, they sometimes do a hard landing or they crash, because of which the rover and the lander are not able to survive the fall. So let's hope that these landings are soft landings, so that eventually we are able to see some beautiful pictures of the moon taken from these instruments, these payloads that have been developed by these private space companies, private space agencies, so that the moon and the space exploration frontier can be opened not just to national space agencies like NASA or ESA, but also the private space agencies. And this is going to make things much more faster, efficient, and also more accessible. And finally, we have the news of ISRO's docking experiment that happened successfully in space. It was completely autonomous, which means that it was completely automatic. Now, on January 16th, ISRO had these two spacecrafts called Chaser and Target. So the Chaser had to dock into Target, and this is very similar to what happened in the movie Interstellar, where the actor was trying to dock their spacecraft to a spinning spacecraft, and then they could move around, they can go back and forth. Space docking is very crucial because if we are thinking of something where humanity becomes interplanetary, that we are not just staying on the Earth, but we are going to the moon, to the Mars, and somewhere else in the solar system, then we need space stations where we could not just manually dock but do automatic docking. That means no intervention by human is required. The spacecrafts are intelligent enough, they have this artificial intelligence in them that they can figure out all the challenges, decrease, increase the speed, move around and dock successfully on their own. ISRO has become the fourth country to do so after USA, Russia and China, and let's just hope that more and more space companies, hopefully also private space companies, are able to perform these things to make the human space exploration frontier open to more and more people on Earth. So this is it in this video. I'm gonna meet you in just a couple of weeks with more space news around the world, around the solar system and the universe, and I'll see you in the next Kainaati Khabre. Till then, take care and bye bye.